Hey guys, welcome to the show. I hope you're having an awesome day. I am having a great day. Or am I? I'm not really having a great day, but this is my magical face and voice where you think that my day has been amazing and I haven't had an ear infection and been unconscious half the day. But you won't know that through this whole show, so don't worry about it. I'm a professional. Even though I probably shouldn't have even told you. It would have been cooler if you didn't know. Well, anyways, let's see what I can do here. I'm trying to look for the thing. And who cares? How y'all doing, guys? If I still can't be, I got a freestyle, but I'm waiting for me. And I know that I just saw a crazy thing. What? Kirk Cousins just signed with the Falcons yesterday? That's kind of crazy. I was waiting for me. And the Oscars were crazy because no bar B. One, only if they couldn't break it down, they see. But Oppenheimer did. They won so many things. They got the best director and the actor, and they never see. And they got to do all them things that they be. And hey, what am I doing if I could be? And I know that Ken had a great time, G. He even got to sing on the Oscars, bro, and that was kind of cool. I was like, oh no, now I gotta say yo when I'm out of control. I wasn't tripping, but I'm sitting here thinking I know when I got Flo, she's here, and we're gonna have a good time if I fear. But now I stand because I know that I'm near. When everybody lands, well, they looking for the people and they gotta feel the hand. And yes, I have a migraine and an ear infection, but that's okay because I know that my song's injection right here. I can never fear, only if I gotta break it down because I got a crazy ear and I can hear in both sides now if I never get down and I got it right. Wow, what a mice is to say. And if I be, and if you notice, there's no Trey, but it's okay. G, he's having a good time trying to get married. And I was looking back at the people, they say, "Go Cherry, Mary, what am I doing if I could be looking for the button that I gotta press next?" G. Oh, I can do it. Oh.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows to you, flows to you.
Well, hello. Hi, Flor. How are you doing today?
Hi, I'm doing great. How are you? I mean,
I
I know
am.
you had something in your ear. Sorry.
There was a giant worm, a sandworm from the movie Dune. It was crazy. I sometimes I honestly get concerned about that. I'm like, why if there's like I was laughing because I was cleaning out my ear yesterday, and when I looked down, there was a fly
Oh
in
God.
the water, and I'm like, I know that he did not come from my ear, but I laughed because I was like, that's my nightmare. That there's just like
Oh,
bugs just in my head, just chilling.
just bugs. They're my nightmare. Just any kind of bug.
Nope, not a thing that I do. So um let's see. Real quick an icebreaker, I guess. What's one of the funnest things that happened to you this week?
So yesterday we went to the planetarium. Um, the library has free passes, so I decided to save
Ooh.
$100 and took my family to the planetarium. And they're like, no cameras, nothing. If you have, like, the guy starts talking before the show, and my son, who's 4, just like raises his hand, and the guy's like, is this a question or a comment? Because he's talking about, now we're going to have caves in the moon, right? Because in the caves, apparently, this is new information, I just got it. They have found caves in the moon where the temperature is 60 degrees Fahrenheit all year long, so people can actually live there.
Mhm.
And then my son raises his hand, and the guy's like, "Is this a question or a comment?" And my son is like, "It's a question." It's like, what is the question? It's like, cave people live in caves.
And you were like, that's my son. So smart.
It's so cute, so endearing. I guess he's been watching The Croods too much, and I'm like, melting in my seat. And yeah, that was really funny. It's gonna be a family joke for the rest of our lives.
That is hilarious. It's funny. There you go. Kids are crazy. I said I have a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old, and this weekend, I don't know if this was fun, but I had to go to the doctor. I had to go find out about the ear. I was like, "What's going on?" So I had to go to the urgent care. So I take my 3-year-old with me, but she also takes her giant size Sky with her, and she walks in, and so we're there. We are at the the thing, and they moved me off the actual operation table onto a regular chair to reach my ear. And then my daughter takes the sky, sticks it in the operation chair, and then proceeds to do the same surgery on the sky as she's the doctor. And she's like, uh-huh. Oh, okay, doc.
Oh,
Okay,
no.
Sky. I know your ear hurts. It's okay, Sky. Okay, Daddy, you're good now. And I'm like, dude, I'm in terrible pain, but you're hilarious.
So endearing.
Kids are crazy. Or as I went to get medication, my 6-year-old was with me, and he's in his car, and I hear somebody go, Boston. And I'm like, why does somebody know my son's name? And this random worker at HEB comes up and is like, I'm his student teacher. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And she goes, hi, student teacher. You know, my dad has stuff in his ear right now. It's crazy. And I'm just like,
Nice.
thanks.
Thanks.
Thanks, bud. This is definitely how I wanted to be introduced to your
Yeah.
student teacher who works at HEB or a grocery store. And so that was very funny. I was like, that's crazy. But
Yeah,
anyways, yeah, kids are crazy.
that was fun.
So that's the funnest part about raising children is the idea of just the crazy things that happen to you as you're doing it. And it's fun. I like it. I'm a fan.
Yay for children.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are days where I'm like, dude, come on. Do we have to yell in daddy's bad ear, or do we have to pour water on daddy while he was sleeping? Was that a necessity? Yeah.
Okay.
Just come on, let's go. Daddy doesn't need all this. But anyways, all right. So we are doing things a little different. If somebody's watching the show going, why are you doing things different? Because I can. I'm the boss. And I'm trying to try some new formats, see if there's something I like that's different. And still what I would like to do, which is talk to cool people and make cool songs. And so, but today we're gonna say, what music do you like? So first off, what is the kind of music that you grew up listening to, and then what is it that you're listening to now, Flor?
I grew up listening to everything. So I grew up in Peru.
Uh-huh.
And it's a big eclectic music taste. Like you get your folklore from Peru, your Peruvian music. You get American music, like a lot. You get like Spanish, like romantic songs from
Nice.
like Ricky Martin style, like Mexico, like a lot of pop. Yeah, so I grew up listening to so many things that my body acquired it, and now within me writing music, I try to explore different genres because I think kids should be exposed to that much music. So my favorite growing up though was definitely pop music. I mean, how far back are we talking about, when I was a child or when I was a teenager?
Well, what do you think really has formed what you do now, or the music that you do now, or the music you listen to now? What really formed that? Because yeah, I listened to a lot of country music as a kid, not because I wanted to, because it was forced upon me,
Yeah.
And then I listened to rap, and then rap then made my life. And so it's kind of like those kind of things, like yeah, I'm not gonna be like, oh yeah, I used to listen to Garth Brooks. No, I was a Beastie Boys guy or Eminem. Well, actually, it's funny. I was probably a Vanilla Ice, MC Hammer guy first, not because I wanted to, just because they were the only option. And then once I figured out, oh, there are other options, and then I was like, oh wow, there's people like EPMD and Rakim. Oh, that's awesome stuff. But the funny part is I didn't even know about those guys until 10 years after they released their music. And so it was like, oh man, I missed the whole prime of all this cool stuff. But it's what it is. But anyways, back to you.
So the one that impacted my life and my career the most was probably Shakira. Like before Shakira was blonde, she was a regular
lady.
normal size woman that was maybe she was in her 20s. She was little when she started writing songs and doing shows from her songs. So when she was 19, 20, she released her album that became really famous in Latin America, and all her songs are about heartbreak. So when I was 14, I was going through heartbreak. So it's like, oh, I'm going to be like Shakira and write songs about heartbreak. And I wrote a bunch that I never released, but maybe one day. I'm too old now. Maybe my daughter can record them. But I think she's the one that impacted me the most, and her soft pop ballads I are my jam.
Well, what you could do is you could make a very depressed puppet and release a depressed puppet love thing, but then you just change some of those references to other puppets that broke her heart.
Oh my goodness.
This would be great. Like if everybody's new favorite sad depressed puppet songs. You can have that. That's for free, just for you.
I think that would be an interesting idea to
And
explore.
then you build the whole backstory of it, like so, like you have the songs, but then you build the backstory, like she's dated lots of men, and this is or lots of different other puppets. Even a Sesame Street guy, one or two, and then she's lived this life, and she's always given her heart, and but her heart was just never there. She was only stuffing.
No, but those would have to be funny songs, I feel like. But it's a good idea.
Well, no, there are times where the songs don't need to be, the whole situation is what's funny. The songs is what makes it funny, because it's like, why is a puppet singing about depression or broken hearts? Like that's the fun. That's the whole bit. Like it's like you could make all that stuff funny, but then actually just be like, if somebody would listen to the album and be like, oh, this is super sad, and they don't know this backstory, then it wouldn't be funny. But if they knew the backstory, then it'd be hysterical. Anyways, random.
It's a great idea. I'll explore that. Yeah.
Sure, you can have that one. But anyways, so what do you? This is still a comedy episode, so I have to still throw in the episode that comedy up in the mix. This is actually, you know what? This is probably where our song's gonna go. We're probably gonna make something like this.
Nice.
A depressed puppet.
I have song. A puppet. I did a whole bit with a puppet. His name is Archie, and he's orange. And
all right,
yeah, I'm over there somewhere.
Well, I'm all about that puppet life.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I have like puppets galore in my life. One day I decided that doing wrapping puppet messages for birthdays was a good idea, and
yes.
It didn't happen. But I did acquire great skills for making sweet sock puppets.
Well, the thing is that growing up where I grew up, puppeteering is not a career, right? It's like people are like, what? So I remember we were in a market once, and my mom got me this puppet and started making, this voice, and start singing pop songs with this voice of the puppet. And my mom is like, oh, that's great. But it was like a family funny bit that I would do. I think if I grew up here, maybe I could have pursued being a puppeteer a little bit more. And then it wasn't until I moved here that I started working with theater companies for children. And I stumbled upon this theater company, and they taught me a lot about puppets. Then I did something with the Swedish Cottage Marionette Theater. Like I explored that puppet life for a bit, making money out of that. I ended up not going that route because I was physically very extenuating. Like it was like, the arm. I was like, I'm not made. I had to like lean over. It's the weirdest places that you have to be, because you have to hide your own persona. And I physically was like, I don't think I'm cut out for that.
And that's the crazy part, right? Like, so we talk about Sesame Street, we do all that stuff, right? And that's awesome. But you never show true respect to those people until you know that how it feels. Like when you're laying on a little roller thing and moving your hand, and with me, I'm rapping, so then I'm moving it like this for like 6 minutes. Oh yeah. No, that's not fun. No. And then one of the first ones I built had like a plastic mouth. So it was like this, trying to squeeze it. And oh man, I would like in the middle of it, I'm just twitching. Like my puppet just looks like he's having a bad day. But you don't realize the muscle tenacity that you need to make puppeting work. Like it definitely needs more love and respect than it really gets.
It's definitely a lot. It's like puppets for TV, puppets for theater. It's a lot.
Yeah. Well, doing it live. Well, so when I was working on the hip hop musical puppet show, I actually was in my brain. The most efficient way for me to do it is to actually do it as digital puppets, so then I could actually have them on screens when I'm performing, and then just me sync myself with them, and so then I don't have to do the voices and I don't have to do the things, and they're just on screens.
Well,
Um,
this is why TV. There's not many puppet shows on TV because producers hate puppets because it's so expensive
yeah,
to do because you have to hire the talent and like you cannot fix things on post. You have to reshoot like and that's a whole
yeah,
day. And yeah, don't pitch shows to TV with puppets. They will not take it.
they will not be happy about it.
I have learned my
Well, the only time they'll do it is if you're the only one controlling it, and
or if
yeah.
you are like an idea that's already been the way Donkey Kong don't no it's Donkey Don it was Donkey Hootie
Mhm.
came out is because it was already a character that was somewhat known and like, I knew nothing about it, but yeah, I had a meeting with not a meeting, a conversation with the one of the producers of that show, and that's how she told me that producers hate puppets.
That's so funny. Um, well, yeah. So, and then what kind of music you listen to right now?
Right now. Hmm. Have to think about it. Like to be honest, every freaking thing. Can I say freaking here? I guess.
Yes,
Uh,
you can. Well, no,
every,
you only get two freakins on this episode.
uh-oh.
I'm just playing. Yeah, we try to be family friendly, but freaking is fine. You can say that a zillion times.
Everything. Why? If I so I think I'm still a teenager at heart because I mean my daughter loves Olivia Rodrigo, so I've been listening to a lot of Olivia
Oh,
Rodrigo.
my I used to sell tickets for a living. I used to be a ticket broker. So my brother sends me a message and he's like, "Hey, can you get tickets to Olivia Rodrigo?" So I go look at it and I'm like, "Oh Lord, no, I can't get you tickets. That's crazy. Uh,
Yeah, she's
that
exploded.
that is not cheap." And I've listened to. She'll show up on one of my like playlists every once in a while. The exploit, not the ex boyfriend song, or one of the ex boyfriend
One
songs.
of the ex.
The ones like I decided to go back with him, but I not really. We're just hanging out. I forget what it is. I don't know. Anyways,
Yeah, and like I love this guy Jake that spells his name with a V instead of an A. And he does some pretty interesting music. One of his most famous songs is Golden Hour.
okay,
And it's a lot of piano like I don't know. I call it, and it's a term that is probably gonna be a thing, cinematic pop. Like
sure,
like when you hear it, it's like a movie
yeah.
happening. A lot of different feelings and emotions transported to music. I really like cinematic pop, so I like him and some of this music that is not made for TikTok, but suddenly become TikTok trends because
Well,
they are cinematic.
because it does that. Yeah, I said that's. I've always when I do music, my friends always Supple would tell me he'd be like, when your first album dropped, I thought it was a kid's album because it was a album about sock monkeys. But it was just I just thought sock monkeys were funny, so I just wrote songs about it. And but I was like, oh, I never thought about it. But then still, even in that situation,
Yeah.
every album I've ever done had a theme, and then
Mm.
I could actually do when I do a live show, it actually has cut scenes and things like that to actually build the story. Because for me, that's just I'm a musical person in my head, and so I love the idea of if I'm going to perform a 10-minute set, I want you to feel like it was a TV episode, not just a concert, and that's important to me.
Yeah,
Like I want you to know that you are a part of it and that I'm trying to tell you a story. So,
nice. I like
but
that.
but that's cool that you like that kind of music because that's yeah, no, I enjoy that too. And then it's funny trying to listen to like I never thought that I'd be in a place where I listen to new music and I go, those whippersnappers. But yeah, now I'm like, why do we like this? Or like Jack Harlow or those kind of things. He's good, but I'm like, I don't understand how just spelling your name makes you a cool rapper. That's so confusing to me. As a rapper. But he's cool. Like his songs will be stuck in my head for days. And It's so funny. I Yeah, no, and as I said, I try to switch it up. But yeah, no, it's so funny the music that we listen to now. But then our favorite music is like oldies music now, which is weird.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
I think Shakira is still relevant, but yeah, it's
yeah.
have
Well,
my
she,
90s playlist that I, like
yeah,
play a lot in the car, even with my kids and trying to teach them about Nirvana and
sure.
you know, Oasis, Green Day.
Well, and now everybody does the remix of all their songs. And so like you'll be listening to new songs. And I just heard that remix of the symphony, I forget what it was called, but it
Wait,
was it was during Oasis, and then it was that one song, the it was a one hit wonder, and they just did something symphony. Man, I forget what it is now. But anyways, but yeah, so many songs now are just remixes of songs I listened to in the '90s, which
oh, they put samples of it.
yeah, it's total. It's like, or even that Jack Harlow song, "Whips and Chains," where it's all it is an old song where they
Oh, the
just
Fergie song.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like this is crazy. I'm old that they're using my stuff now as a
I'm not. I
or
was a baby. What are you talking about?
yeah. That's why I stopped myself. I'm the only one here with gray hair, so you know.
I was in the room.
What is it? They had so many things that's funny. But anyways, let's get going. Um, and let's talk about the big idea.
Mm.
So, so you do children's music now. Was that always the plan
No, the plan was to come to New
to
York
be new
and
Shakira?
a musical theater star on Broadway. And I learned pretty fast that I was put on a box of what characters I could do in the
Yeah.
first maid, sexy Sofia Vergara style, or
Or West Side Story.
the ethnic best friend.
Yeah.
So I could do West Side Story or
Yep.
In Heights, and that was
Yep.
it. And and good luck.
I
Uh,
know. That stinks.
and the thing is that in Peru, I was a dancer. I belong into this modern dance company. So I came here thinking, oh, I'm a dancer. And I'm not a dancer.
Yeah, when you see somebody that actually can dance, and you're like, "Whoa,
No, in
okay."
Peru, I thought I was like, I'm a dancer. And I come here and like in my musical theater college, there's like 4 levels of dance. And it was like level 1 was the worst. And I think level 4 was the best. And I was like, oh, we got level 4. I got level 2, man. And I was like, wow. And then I did explore the dance a little bit. I just tried to get better. I would go to Broadway Dance Center classes with everybody goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And and I was like, no, I cannot dance like this, but I mean, I can still sing and act. And I'm an actor that moves. And unfortunately, it's a very tough thing. And I would get things like I travel being a maid, and I did a bunch of stuff where they asked me to like thicken my accent, and I was like, I just don't feel like this is the best that I want to do for the rest of my life. And that's how I mean, I've always taught children, and I done music for and with kids, and taught theater. So one thing led up to the other. And then one day I was performing for a company at a big museum, being part of a band of this company. And I'm like, why don't I just do this? This is perfect. I can sing, I can act, I can dance, I can do puppets, I can have fun. And I decided to record my album, and I started booking shows.
Yeah, it's so crazy because like a kid, you would have been like, "Wait, what? You're doing what now? You're not dancing with Shakira? That's not your plan?"
But it's back to what I always it's back to when I was a kid and I was doing the puppet with the voice. Like
Yeah,
I've always meant to do something in this business, and
yeah.
it just kind of found me.
Well, yeah, and that same idea with me. It was like I was like I never realized everybody assumed I did kids music, but I never thought that I did. I just thought I just did funny things. And but so it's funny, like, when I turned 40, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go check out my friend's musical because I always wanted to watch a musical. I always wanted to do a rap musical. And then next thing I know, I've been doing now kids music focus for the last 5 years. And it's like that's just not what I thought that I would do. But once I had kids, it helped that cause, right? Because it's like I love the idea of my kids getting to know that their dad. Oh, that's the weird that I'll tell you right now. That's one of the weirdest things when I go to like his school and my son's like, "Hey guys, my dad's a YouTuber. Here's this video." So I'm like, "Oh, that's so weird. I just am your dad, dude. Please don't show people my videos." But
Oh,
it's
I do like it though. I'm
oh,
sorry.
you love it? Yeah.
I one of those people, like especially with nomination, like
Oh yeah, sure.
they invited me to the school. I was the musician of the week, and like all the kids around the neighborhood were like looking at me if I saw me in the grocery store, and I'm like, man, I love this.
You're like, this is great. No,
I
no, don't get me wrong. I'm all about that, but it's so funny be calling me a YouTuber because I just do a live show where I interview people. I'm not like doing prank things. That's what I mean by that. Like, but no, I have a DJing gig next month, and I was telling people, I'm like, I am not built to be a DJ. I am meant to be in the spotlight. I want everybody to be poking at me. I don't want them listening to the music. I want them to think I'm awesome. Like, that's the most important part to me. So that's funny, and so that's pretty awesome because it's like you tried this thing as hard as you could and you went to do it, you did it all, and then it was like, well, I guess I'm not going to do this, and then I'm just going to do it, but you still kept doing it because that's why you were doing the music with the troupe, and then you realized, oh wow, this is a thing I can do. I can juggle it, I can make it work, and I get to do all the things I like to do. And how many albums now have you released?
4.
4. And then was the nomination like a shock to you, or was it
Yes.
the Grammy nomination of the Latin Grammy nomination was a shock to you, or was it like you just knew it was going to happen?
It was a shock because I really thought it was going to happen with Pachamama. So Pachamama, we put so much.
I'm sorry, I'm definitely hearing "Punch Your Mama" when you say that. Punch your mama, bop. I want to be a part of that song. Punch your mama. No, I would not punch my mama. She knocked me out.
No, so Pachamama.
Okay.
It's a word in Quechua, which is native Peruvians, and it means Mother Earth. And but it's funny because I never saw it that way.
That's what I do.
I really thought it was gonna happen with that. We put so much effort. Like I think I'm really proud of that album and what it meant for me and making fusions with Peruvian music and rap. Like I did a song with our friend Sal Paul, which was mixing a very non-Peruvian folk song.
I remember that song,
and it's like I don't understand why that song is not, because to me it was like, oh my gosh, it's amazing. I mean, everybody, right? Everybody's like, my thing is the best.
yeah.
But I really thought, and so I was waiting, and I was just like, oh my god, it's fine, it's in the ballot, and like it could happen for me, and like nothing happened, of course. So I was just like, oh, all right, fine. I'm gonna do something now that is for me. I'm gonna do something fun for based on the life of my son and all the things that we do in a day in the life, and I think it's gonna be really cute and it's gonna be a good show and it's gonna be focused because as an audience I perform for kids that are from 0 to like 16 years old. Like, to be honest, I've done that much of a range, but usually who comes are like little kids or toddlers. So it's like, oh, it's gonna be a novel for toddlers. And I was just gonna go take a shower on the day of the nomination. Like, I forgot the time it was. I was like not interested, and but of course, I still campaign. I still promoted it. I still did everything that I needed to do, but I wasn't expecting it. So I have my robe on, and then my husband, tells me that I was nominated, and I'm like, what? And since I'm here, and the nomination wasn't on a live stream, it was on the website. You have to go to the website to see who was nominated. Yeah. So nobody knew. Really. Like people say, like, oh, my phone was blowing up when I got the nomination. My phone was not blowing up. Like 3 messages. And then Peru started claiming me because there's only like 5 Peruvians that get nominated a year or maybe less. So they made the announcement, oh, these 4 Peruvians are nominated, and they didn't put me anywhere. So all my friends that do media and theater and in Peru, they were like, oh, you're forgetting one person. And I don't know how it happened. And they found out who I was. And then I started appearing in the news and everything else. But it was really funny. The slow, very slow.
That's so funny.
And it was fun. And I think that tells you that if you just have to do things for yourself and not to think about anybody else.
Yeah, I have a friend, which have you ever heard of Rick Orozco before?
No.
He's a country western singer, Latin guy. He's written tons of songs. Like if you were to look back, you would see, and he's been nominated for a Latin Grammys many a time. And he told me once he actually was one of the first Hispanic guys signed to a country contract at Arista Records. And but the thing is that they asked him to write an album. They he wrote some songs and they didn't like it. And they didn't want him to be Tejano. They wanted him to be country. And then they tried to like mesh this thing and they put together this crazy album and then nobody bought it. And he was like, man, and then he got dropped from his label, moved on with his life. And well, later in his life, I met him and he was just like, what I learned then is that I wasn't making music for me. I was making music for other people that the label said existed. Instead of just writing songs for myself. And when I wrote songs for myself, then I realized there's tons of people that like the same things as me. And then they would like the music. And if you can just do music for yourself, then you'll see what happens. And he's now released tons of stuff and then wrote a book and now he's doing all kinds of craziness. But but always adhered to me. And the idea, if you try to do something for other people, you're going to fail. But if you just do something for, and that's when I laugh at that because when I was listening to a Venture Day, that's exactly how I felt. I was like, oh, this is just a day of life of somebody. Like the wake up song. I'm working on a freestyle song where I actually have it where the kids repeat, but they actually do their own thing. But I thought that was cool because that's the idea that I was having. So listening to Wake Up where they're actually repeating what you're saying, each one, or even like Nature Walk getting stuck in my head. And so it was just like, oh no, this is just a mom being a mom singing songs. And like, that's fun. Like that's it doesn't shock me that I got nominated because it just feels so genuine compared to like you forcing something. And so that's cool.
I don't think Pachamama was forcing something. I think I had a message that I wanted to spread. And like, because there's the educator part of me because I have a bachelor's in education. So but I think with the Venture Day, it was fun. And I'm not surprised. I mean, I am surprised of the support that he has gotten overall. So yeah, just do things for yourself.
That's cool. Well, I'm not saying don't have a message or something. Like I think about like Joanne, right? Like that's all she does. Those cool messages.
Or Joni.
Joni. So why did I call her Joanne? Sorry, Joni. Yeah, when I think about Joni. What?
I think her name is actually Joanne, but
Joanne,
she doesn't go by that. No, everybody calls her Joni.
Yeah. But like her, like she literally chooses a topic and then writes an album on the topic that she wants to which again, I feel like when you are that comfortable with your writing skills and with you, but I think that's the trick. But that's her, right? Like that's what she is about, is making a fuss about something that's important to her. Yeah. And I think once that comes out, then that's an amazing thing. But yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, so that's cool. I was excited about that. And I remember when you did the Salt Paul song, because he posted it and I listened to it and I was like, this is interesting. This is cool. Because it's different. Like especially with him, he does songs that you just didn't expect would be a combo. Or even like again, I loved Bubble Bath with Uncle Jumbo. That guy is one of the coolest people I've ever met. Jumbo is a cool dude. But it's a fun combination of your music with his raps, and it fits well. And so it's just but again, it's just a chill album. Like it's not super long, but it does feel like as a father of a 3-year-old girl, definitely her style life right there.
And Nature Walk was kind of written by my son. We were going on a walk with the dog up the block and he starts humming, we're going on a walk, and that's the first part that you see. And that first little thing that you hear on the album, that's me on my phone recording him as it was happening.
Oh, that's great.
And from then, I wrote the song that night, and it was really fast, but it was just like, oh, this is his life, going on a walk is a big deal for him, so he wrote part of the song. It's really cute.
Yeah, the days that I don't take my daughter outside or to a walk, she reminds me often that it's like, yo, no, like, so if I have to go to the grocery store or something, she has to come because she hadn't got to go out and do something today. And it's like, all right, outdoors lady.
Yeah.
I need to record stuff today. Nope. We're hanging out. And be like, yes, you're right. I'm sorry for thinking that I was going to get something done with my life. But yeah, so all right, so I think we're already kind of in that place. We talked about some cool things about your music, about what you like, and so what do you think what's our song going to be about today? What are we going to do? Are we going to lean on the puppet romantic broken heart thing? Are we gonna do a song about Shakira? Are we gonna do a song about I don't know any other funny thing that we talked about. Uh, we had something funny. Oh, kids saying random things. That could be a fun song. I don't know. Any ideas?
I am up for whatever you choose.
Yeah, well, this is a team effort. Though I will do the work. Let's say, all right, I do love the idea. So I think we're gonna make a broken hearted puppet song.
Let's do that.
All
Yes.
right. And so that'll be the idea. And we'll build it up as we go. So so that's what we're gonna do is some kind of broken-hearted puppet romantic song. I wrote did I forever ago I wrote a song about a zombie that was in love.
No.
And I literally wrote it like it was like just a random like zombies in love song. I think I did it for a sketch comedy show, but it always made me laugh that I wrote this random zombie love song. But anyways, all right, so there we go. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is gonna build a beat, and I'm gonna set up the system, but we're gonna talk about everything. So when you first released your first album, like did you just kind of record it at your house, or did you like how did you build that foundation for doing the children's music?
So I was coming from musical theater, right? So I didn't know any producers, anybody that was making music. And this company that I was doing that show did an album. So I went, they asked me to sing on the album. So I went to my friend's house who has a home studio, and I recorded it. And then I'm like, oh, it's not as hard as I thought. It's like, it's pretty, if you have the right producer, you can produce things pretty nicely. So I asked him to produce my album, and I just would come to him with not even finished songs. I would just be like, "Yeah, I have these. Let's write something together. Let's figure this out." And he's like, "No, you're gonna write it. I'm just gonna give you some musical ideas." So he guided me and through that whole recording, and we did. I think it was 8 songs. I was pregnant during my first album, and it was an interesting experience.
Ah,
I didn't know what was gonna happen. The album was done. She was born, and months passed, and I did not release the album. And my husband's like, well, "You have to do it." So it's like, fine. So I think it was on Thanksgiving that I just put it out in the world, but I didn't know anybody. So like, nobody heard it because it's like I thought I was gonna put it on Spotify. People will find it somehow, right? We're like, nobody's gonna find it. So eventually, that a year passed by where I did a concert release, and I did all the things right. But at first, I pretty much put something out in the world without knowing anything about it, and I just went for it, and I made mistakes, of course. But I think I learned from those, and then the second one came out during the pandemic. Uh,
again, nobody cared, nobody listened.
No, but it's a different kind of caring and listening, because actually it wasn't bad. It was I don't know. I mean, because of course I had a lot of summer concerts that were canceled, but I did a lot of streaming, and I think I reached people in a different way. So I don't. I mean, it is what happened. I don't know what would have happened if I would have gone with my original plan. And then it was Pachamama, and then it was Adventure Day. So I think that was my flow of things.
Yeah, no, I'm always hearing Punch Your Mama every time. You know what? That's the name of the song. Punch Your Mama.
Great.
Like, no, it's no, it's amazing. I'm definitely not trying to hate on your word.
No, I love it. I think it's funny.
But see, now you're gonna be mad at me next time you're telling somebody the story. You're gonna think in your head, dang it, Jason. Why
No,
did you have to put that in my head? I never thought of that as the
but
thing.
I might use it at some point if in a concert where
Well,
like parents are
it
distracted.
works. It works for like the actual. If you think about, you're talking about Mother Earth. It doesn't. We did punch Mama.
Yeah.
When it comes to not being awesome to Mother Earth. So in theory,
when I'm in a school performing for kids that are 10, yes, I'm gonna use.
That's a 10-year-old joke that right there.
Yes.
That's my age joke range right there. Um, so okay, let me set this up, and that's cool. It's a funny how you get into that place where you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm just going to release this thing, and then hey, I know a guy that does a thing. Let me go to his house and record the thing. I remember like recording in the closet the first time I recorded just in my room with like a Radio Shack mic.
Oh my
And it's just funny how that works. Like you're just like, I didn't think it was going to lead to something that now I'm doing, 30 years later, right? Never knew that was going to happen. But it's still happening, and so it's so funny how those things go. Here we go. I'm trying to figure out what button I'm trying to press. As I said, this is the first time I've ever done this, so because normally I have a beatboxer and he does all the work.
Oh,
And
I'm
so
sorry, I cannot help you with that.
yeah, not your thing.
I
I can do it, but
My daughter is better.
yeah, that's funny. Also share audio, yes. All right, here we go. And boom. All right. So here we are. We're looking at Sound Trap, which is an easy little program that allows you to grab loops and do things. We're not going to overdo my stuff. So first options are we're going to do beats, drums, bass. Are we going to do some pop? What's our plan? What's our first? I guess we need drums first, right?
To get the beat. Yeah. So are these things for free?
Yeah.
So you can get these loops and release it in your own song?
Yep. And they have like an upgraded version for like $10 a month. You get way better samples. But there's some rock drums. This is too much, isn't it? For our thing. What do you think?
What else do you have?
All right, let's see. I should see. Here you go. How about this one? A little anthem situation. That's just like a kick.
Sounds like somebody's punching something.
Punch your mama. Still just okay. No, I was hoping for something cool. Here we go. I got some.
Oh, that's good.
Then we can slow it down so we can go. We like this, or do we want to keep going? Trying.
It's good. I like it.
All right. All right. So now we got a beat. All right. So now what we want? We want piano, synth. What do we want? Bass. What's our thoughts?
Needs a bass.
Bass. All right. Now this goes with it. Let's see. That's weird.
Very weird.
So, all right, here we go. There's one called Gasoline 4, 808 Beat, or Deep OC OSC.
Is that gasoline like from like reggaeton gasolina? I'm like, what?
Let's see. Here we go. Kind of cool. Weird, but cool. Now, let's try this one. That's kind of cool if we sped it up, maybe. I don't know. Oh yeah, it's called Sound Trap. It's easy to find. Uh-oh. How's that?
Yeah, that's better.
All All right, should we move on, or should we try to find another bass, or we like this? Yeah, we like this. All right. Synth or piano? Synth. All right, here goes. All right. Uh-oh.
Nice.
Do we like that? Or
Yeah.
all right. Let's see. Where am I going if I don't know what I'm thinking now? I'm turning up, I'm trying to run it back, I'm feeling wow. Yeah, I could do it like forever, you could never be. I'm not looking, you be running, chasing after me. I once was a puppet and I still was in love. Hey, I'm not really sure what's going on if you can shrug, yeah. And I punch my mama. No, I really don't. That would be bad. That would be bad. All right, let's see. All right, let's see. I have this. Oh no, we don't want that. We want. Yeah, I like this. Oh, here we go. How about this?
Start.
All right, do we like this? What do you think?
Yeah.
All right. Again, first time I ever just made a random beat. This is definitely not my most secured beat I've ever made. Well, if we get flagged, we get flagged. I don't know what's gonna happen. We'll see what happens. It doesn't matter. All right, so now we have a beat and we have an idea. And so now we're good. We're getting close to the end here. And we'll pop this back. We'll use this in a second when we come back to listening to the beat. But now it's time. Let me take this off. We don't need that. And we come back to us. But now we feel good about this. Do we need to listen to it one more time before we move on, or do we feel good about?
Got it.
All right, good. All right. And let's see, popping up our names. And bam. All right. So, okay. So now, last thing that we're going to do is we're going to come up with a chorus. What's the hook here? But first off, what is it that you want people to remember about what you do? Why do you do it? And how can people check out your stuff?
So it's hard when you have an audience that will forget you when they
Yeah.
grow older.
That's crazy. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, so I have my respects to Lori Berkner to always, keep building her fan and
Sure.
like her fan base now have kids and they remember her from their olden days. I think that would be a goal to have some sort of legacy, to have an impact on a positive impact on someone's life in terms of music creation and feeling good about the music that you listen. I always say that I want to create global citizens in the world because I think if you expose children to diverse genders of music, then they'll eventually will respect and have more empathy for different cultures and different types of music. And I think that would be like the goal, the legacy, what I leave on to society.
That's cool. No, I think it's important. I think it's funny. Well, I was thinking about this. Like, did you see the new Blue's Clues movie?
No, I haven't.
So in that movie, they actually have the original Steve
Mhm.
in there, and so, but he's moved on with his life, and so, but he's like a detective at this point in this movie, and but it's so cool to like see this person that moved on, but like he has fans. But yeah, I mean, in general, when you do kids music, yeah, in general, your music is made to be forgotten, not on purpose. It's just to move. You're focused on one genre. You're not going to grow with the kids that listen to your music. You're going to make teenage music. Imagine that. Imagine if you grew with your whole audience and you just made the music that
That's
they wanted to listen to. That'd
yeah.
be cool if you could pull that off. But that's not a normal thing. Like even like the Wiggles is a good example of this. It's like they were world famous and they're still doing their thing, but it's because half their audience are adults that remember them and then their kids.
Yeah.
And so it's an amazing thing. But that's I think that's important, especially you being from Peru, realizing that there's so many other things than just here. That it's such a big deal in our society to care about more than just yourself. And I think that's interesting. But I was gonna say. So yeah, that's cool. What's your website? How do we get to listen to your music? Do you have a new album coming out? Anything like that?
I have a couple of ideas that I'm working on.
Ooh,
I just recorded a song with Dean Jones about a gamer, um, which is kind of like Avril Lavigne punk rock song. I don't. It doesn't have a release date because I don't know. Maybe in the summer I'll release it, and I have a couple of collaborations happening to just singles, and then my album concept is coming along. I'm actually have done one show of these new songs that I have for an album because it's my way of testing out the songs on an audience,
sure.
in a local audience, and see if they're working, if I need to tweak something for this show. So the albums that I do usually are tied up to an educational concept. So this one is, and I will be, this album is meant for teachers. Like that's
Yeah.
my target audience would be like kids in school, elementary school age, that can learn from that and can also learn in school, can be part of a curricula kind of thing. So that's my next project that is happening sometime next year. And then in Spanish, I also want to do something else. I don't, because what worked great was releasing this album in English, and then
Yeah.
in Spanish, I think I was able to reach to different audiences and to different markets in a
The-
way.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, we record them in Spanish.
yeah, because like if people, so before it was like bilingual, and I think I limit myself with that
Yeah.
population. If I release an album in English and if I release it in Spanish, I think it brightens it up, it makes it bigger. And at the same
Ooh.
time, if you are bilingual, you can listen to both of them. And
Well,
then
yeah.
go ahead.
Oh no, no, you just gave me a great idea. Well, like if you thought of it, like if you like your next time you record it like that, like think of it like not only are you building up a new audience, but you actually have an opportunity to expand your audience. And the idea that if somebody only listens to Spanish, and then they listen to the English album, you're actually helping them learn English.
Mm,
And so if you actually wrote songs that mesh that inside of it to
mm.
like make it a learning experience where like you literally are your album is just teaching people how to speak English, which is crazy. Oh, sorry, just random thoughts in my head. But
Yeah,
that's such a cool
it's
idea.
it's true. So I usually, if you're bilingual, like in the bilingual shows that I do, I mix them up sometimes. I
Yep.
decide which verse I sing in what language, and like everybody can understand depending on the audience that I have. Sometimes all of my audience are English speakers, and I'm like, well, I'm gonna throw a word here and there in Spanish. But they're not here to learn Spanish. They're here to have a good time. So I
That's fun.
decide in the moment what language I'm going to have predominantly in that show. But in the shows, I usually do bilingual. So,
Yeah, what's wrong?
oh,
My phone died? Oh, I'm sorry. All right. You want to say hi? He's sad because of my phone freaked out on his game. Oh, I see. It's loading. It's not loading. Could you try something
are
else?
you a gamer friend? Because I have a song for you.
He is a gamer. He's a Roblox guy.
Yeah.
Hey, can I go work on this with you in a little bit? I don't know. Yeah, I can't fix it right now, but I'll fix it in about 10 minutes. Can you let me? All right. Give me a second. Let me figure this out.
Sure.
Isn't it funny that I didn't realize having kids I was going to have to be an IT guy at all times.
At all times.
And it's like, oh, and then you have to like know how to fix things you never knew you knew how to do.
Yes.
Um,
Yes, you become a fixer upper for your kids. You become a chef too. I have
yeah.
to learn how to make a meal.
Oh, well, I was already a chef, so that worked out for me. But there are definitely times where I'm like, you have to figure out how to make something that's delicious. All right, buddy.
There's nothing like making something healthy and good for your family that they're not gonna eat.
Oh yeah, that's or like I think I was doing the thing where I made like this delicious, like I had like a wagyu steak or something that I was able to make, and he was like, I don't want that, I want a hamburger. And I'm like, but son, you're missing out your opportunity. Can we try a different game? Can we try a different game? Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. No, I don't think anybody watching the show has this game and knows how to fix it. Does anybody know how to fix Tycoon, Cruise Tycoon? Anybody? Oh, no,
I
nobody.
can Google that up.
Yeah. It might just be too many people playing it right now.
Yes. It's such a cool game.
But yeah, so we'll try one more time. But hey, buddy, can I finish this real quick? Is that okay? Oh. Yeah. So yes, everybody, I'm looking at Roblox right now, trying to figure out the thing.
It's bring me back to the pandemic, when I had to do shows, and then my daughter will start in the
That's not the one.
I know. I'm just trying to see if things are working.
Or do you remember that journalist that was in his?
Yeah, and then the kid jumps in the background. Yeah, that happened to me so many times. Like it's like, I think even when I did South by Southwest, the virtual one, and he definitely showed up in a few meetings.
Oh my goodness!
It was like, come on, dude. Oh, buddy.
That's it.
All right, buddy. Hey, I don't think it's gonna work. Can I work on this later? Is that okay? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Hey, I'll come help you, mommy. Go show it to mommy. And close the door, please. Okay, don't close the door. Aw, it's so sad for him.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just like it just says loading assets, and it's like I don't know how to fix that. Sorry, everybody. If you're listening to this on the podcast, you're like, what just happened? Yeah, sorry. Son needed this thing fixed, and I'm sorry, guys. My kid is more important than this podcast. That's important. I never want my kids to like remember that whatever I was doing was more important than them,
Yeah, it's hard though.
Oh yeah, well, especially being a kids musician, right? Have you had it where you're like kids like, no, you can't sing songs to other people? Has that happened to you?
Can't sing songs to other people.
Like
No.
when I rap, or like say I'm at my son's school and I rap, my son will like literally want to like tell everybody they can't listen to me because it's his thing. And I'm like, no, bro, this is what daddy does when he's not with you. He gets paid to do this. It's so funny. So what's our hook song gonna be?
Oh,
Let's think of something. Is it gonna be Punch Your Mama? I don't know. I think Punch Your Mama is too much for a chorus. What's our story? So we have a puppet that's in love, that has a broken heart, and we have this cool gothic stringy EMD situation happening musically. So I guess we should play that. And let's see, back to
I think
what?
the puppet has feelings, but nobody understands because the puppet's a puppet.
Yeah, I like that. So let's see here. Here we go.
Reminds me of 8 Mile.
Yeah. Ooh, let's see. All right, so puppet has feelings. Yeah, it does. I don't even know what you're doing, cuz. And we see what we're feeling right. Only if I couldn't get it right. Everybody see a different day. I run cause I cannot say. If you just knew that I'm more than cloth, I'm in love with you, but you don't know my exist. And I know sometimes I could never wish. Something like that. What do you think?
Yeah, it's going somewhere.
I like that. In love with you, but you don't even know I exist. One of the other thought process I was thinking, what happens if the puppet is in love with their puppeteer?
Oh, that would be fun.
But we then get in a little naughty place because then they're inside them, and so I don't really know how to make that a working song without it being inappropriately weird.
Maybe not.
When you're inside me, I think of nope. Sorry, not gonna work.
No, but the puppet can be in love with a human, and then it would be like fine.
Or how about this? How about it's a puppet at a school, and the puppet it performs every day in the school cafeteria, and the puppet is in love with one of the cafeteria people.
Nice.
And but they only see them from afar, seeing them prep mashed potatoes and whatnot, and they want them to know that they love them, but they don't know. What do you think?
Yes.
All right. So I feel like that's enough prep for us to do this. I can't promise you this is going to be good. But
maybe we can start like walking in the school, trying to find something to eat. Then
is that what are you going to add to the song? You definitely don't have to. It's a me thing.
I mean, I would, but it's isn't it weird with the like delay? I don't know.
Yeah, it's I don't know. We'll see what happens. We can in post production, I can always actually line you up and actually make it work. But because I get the cool part is I actually have our raw files, so I'll actually have from your microphone, so I can actually cut it. But the live feed will definitely be weird. So, but anyways, all right. So here we go. All right, so let's see. Let me listen. You do just a silly intro, and let's see how it sounds. Here we go. Oh, wrong button. I'm trying to press play in the screen.
Want me to do an intro? Okay, I'll do an intro.
All right, here we go. Oh, let me. Wait, I got an idea.
All right, my turn.
Yeah.
Walking in school, I feel nobody sees me but all I see me. Hello, who do I see? It's my crush. Oh no, it's time to tell her I am in love with you, but you don't know who I am.
You don't know that I love you. You don't even know my exist. You don't know how much I do. I love you when I got a reminisce. Every single day I see you, make me wanna smile. I watching you make mashed potatoes over a mile. And when you get that corn, I'm thinking, do I be? And you add a little extra butter, would you love me like that? See, I don't even know, I'm just a puppet, yo. I'm not really sure if I could even go give you a hug or let you be, but I will let you make me lunch any day, lady. I love you. I love you. No, you don't know I exist. I love you. I love you. No, you know I'm just a puppet. Yeah, yeah. What happens if one day I see you in the night and I just slowly say hi? But then that's all I can do, cause I'm just Pan sitting with the cloth on his face, and only if I can't really stand with the plan. But I know that I love you and it's out of control. Maybe one day we'll get close, we can through your doors, and I will just tell you how amazing I think you are. And I don't even know if they understand you so much, and I'm running for the light, and I'm seeing that it's one, but I know one thing that I think is true. I want me your burrito. I don't know if I ever say. I guess that's this song that I sing today. I love you. I love you. No, I do not know if you know why. I love you. I love you. I'm just a puppet. I love you. I love you. You'll probably never know it. I love you. I love you. I guess this is where I say bye.
Yay!
All right, that's one of the silliest things I've ever done. Um,
Poor puppet.
I know. Could you imagine, like, you just never get to say hi to the person? You know,
Put him in a box.
the funny part is like this is a junior high's life, right? Like you spend your whole time where you're like madly in love with this person, and you know you're never going to talk to them, but you think that they're just the most amazing thing, and they will never know, unless maybe like later in life you see them and you're like, I was in love with you when we were in 8th grade. I thought you were the coolest thing.
My school was very small, and
Oh, so you had to talk to
we
them.
knew each other. So I dated my crush. It was fun.
It's so funny, but yeah, no.
I wrote him so many songs.
A puppet in love is just a depressing story. This could be fun. If you ever decide to run on this, I could definitely offer some raps
Nice.
for this storyline. But
I
this
think
is fun.
that would be a great concept album and a great show to put on.
Oh yeah, could you imagine? Like, oh, that'd be cool because it would if it was like a concept album, then actually the puppet could actually be in the person's band, be in like your band, and the puppet's in love with you, and so you don't know that yet. And so it's as you're just singing a song about walking the park or something, then it's kind of putting subtle things like, that I want to walk with you in the park, and you're just not noticing because you're just doing your job singing songs.
No, I think the show will be all puppets, and like I would be like the host and introduce them all to sing,
that makes sense.
like monologues of the that that women show that I probably cannot say that.
Yeah, sure.
Like, do
I
monologues,
definitely know the one that you're talking about.
but this would be like monologues of the puppets, and like they would
That's
sing.
funny. Well, there you go. There's our
Yes, nobody
original.
steals that. People steal my ideas all the time. Nobody steals our idea.
Well, there's our original puppet song. I do not know if it sounded good in the recording. I apologize if my singing was terrible. I am not a singer. I am a rapper.
You did amazing.
But that was fun. It was just fun hanging out with and talking to you about this. And just in general, I just think it's so cool that like you figured it out. We figured out the thing that makes you smile. And that's awesome because it's like some people can live their life just hoping to do something and they're all sad. They don't want to do the thing. It's like, I never want somebody to regret where they've been. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to like move forward and find that thing that makes you happy. And even if it is like, even if it is in your 60s or your 70s, like at least you found something that made you happy. Like I always think about like Julia Childs. Like she didn't actually figure her thing out until she was 60 years old.
Wow.
That's crazy. She lived a whole life and then she became famous.
Right.
And it's like, it's just so crazy to think about those kind of things. But no, it was so cool to like talk to you and learn about your story and make a silly puppet song that I do not know if it made any sense. And that was my full production, which made me laugh. Just all loops and craziness. But yeah, so
about this program, so I'll explore it and see what comes out.
Yeah, it's called Soundtrap. I'll send you the link.
Awesome.
So you can check it out.
It was nice talking to you and learn about your family and having all the connections with parenting.
Yeah, no, that's the trick, right? Like, it's like you never know what exactly you're going to learn as you have this conversation. And it's like the honest part is if it was up to me, this show would be me making you dinner and us talking about it as we go. But that's really hard. Imagine me shipping something I made for you from Texas to New York and then dry icing it. That would make a very expensive episode. Remember us just making a song about puppets being in love. But I'm gonna see if I'm gonna try to do a mix down of it, see if I can get like a cool recording of it, and I'll send it to you.
Awesome.
But anyways, all right. So this is your last chance. What websites do they need to go to find your music? What's
Yeah.
happening?
florbromleymusic.com, and I'm on Instagram, I'm on TikTok. I post like once a month. I
Amazing.
Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. I have some videos there. What else? I'm in all the socials. I'm not on Threads. Who is?
I'm not.
So yeah, you can Google me and you can find me very easily.
That's cool. And I hope to see you at ACL this year. That'd be cool.
I really, oh
In
my
real life.
God.
They try to rotate the selections, and
Yeah.
so luckily I've had the honor where I perform every year there since 2019, and so we have our own little booth, and so we're definitely not the stars. We're like in the back teaching kids how to rap, but it's still I still get paid to be a performer at ACL, which makes me smile every single day. Because growing up in Austin, I never thought that was a thing that I would ever do, is to get paid to, like, is there a thing in New York where you're like, man, I really want to perform there one day, or you did and you got to do it?
I think Carnegie Hall and Lincoln Center are I want to do that.
That sounds awesome.
My friend, people have done it. I have a couple of friends that have done it.
Future, right? Just did it.
You just did it through an event. It wasn't
Sure.
him
Still
headlining,
counts.
but it counts.
Yeah.
And then Sonia did it, and Falu did it. Lucy, I think, did it too. Yeah, and then my friend Sharu, she does Indian jazz.
Nice.
She's doing something in April 5th. She wants me to go, and so I might go see her. But yeah, it's not a dream that cannot come true. So I have it on my radar.
That's so awesome, and congratulations for the nomination this year.
Thank
That already happened, right? The Grammys.
Yeah,
right?
we went to
Yeah.
in November. Yeah.
Was that awesome?
Yeah, because it was the first time ever that has been outside the US. So we went to Spain.
Wow, that's so cool.
That's
so
it was
cool.
really fun, especially because like it was a selected group just went because it was in a huge venue. So all nominees really got to know each other because we're in a foreign country, right? Which is different that what happens when it's in LA or it's in Las Vegas. There's so many people there, so many parties.
Oh,
This one was a little bit more tight, and people got to know each other a little bit better. So I like that.
I did one last question, mainly just because I was thinking about this. This is the first year that I knew every single person that was nominated for a family Grammy before.
Mhm.
That was crazy. Was like, I know every single one of those people. That's just so weird to say that, right?
It gets weirder. Like I knew a lot of people that were nominated in other categories and that won too. So I was just
That's
rooting
crazy.
for all of them. It's pretty fun.
Do you ever find it frustrating to be in that cycle where like you feel like you have to record an album every year so you can get a chance to be nominated? Because I know like with SP, he's always releasing an album about that time so he can get the thing. And I know that's not his priority, but I feel like it's one of those things was like I can imagine getting in that cycle where you're like, I just want to get nominated once. So then you're releasing a song every single year, an album every year, but it's like, do you ever get afraid of getting stuck in that cycle, or?
No, because I release when I want to release. Like I'm not releasing anything this year. I'm releasing singles and collabs, but
Sure.
I'll release stuff for next year because it's exhausting. The campaigning thing is exhausting. So I'm gonna take not a little break, just like a year, like a couple of months of not releasing something, and just listening and be a part of the community. I love being a recording member. Recording Academy member. I really like it, especially in New York. And I know in Texas too, there's a huge networking. I don't know if you're a Recording Academy member, but you should be. And it's pretty cool. I met a DJ Cassandra. I don't know if you know her, at one of the events in LA. She's fantastic. And, it's a huge community. So I'm really happy to be a member of that and celebrate each other's success and go to all these networking parties. It's fun.
So here you go. So I need advice. So this is our closing question. It's advice for Scout, so I can be successful. I've never released a kids album.
Okay.
I've considered it. I've been making a idea for a freestyle rap album where I teach kids how to freestyle in the album. Do you have any advice for me on actually just pulling it off? Because when I was a kid and I've released 5 albums in my life, right? But I was younger, and so I didn't care what people thought. And now I'm old and I care. And I'm like, you know how you just said it, you released that album to nobody, but you felt good because you released the album. But now at 45, I'm like, but if I release it, I did all that work, and if nobody listens to it, I'm gonna be sad.
They're gonna listen
So,
to it because you know enough members of the community that I think it's a good place to release something that some people will hear. And yeah, my Spotify numbers go all over the place. You know, sometimes people hear it, sometimes people don't. Sometimes if a song gets picked up by SiriusXM, then a lot of people will hear that song, and it is what it is. And you'll never know what's gonna stick and what's not. To me, a nomination doesn't mean. I mean, I got some new streams and new followers, but it wasn't like I got thousands and millions.
yeah, it
Uh,
didn't fix your problems.
no, you always have to keep doing it, and like a nomination is not a goal; it's a step. You know, a win is not a goal; it's a step towards something. And yeah, people think that they're gonna get nominated or they're gonna win, and it's just gonna be all the doors are gonna open, and it's gonna be like it's not like that. And I knew it wasn't gonna be like that. I
Sure.
think it's definitely great to have had it, and I hope to get another one, of course. But it's a step onto other things. So my advice would be to plant seeds in different places, and one of them eventually is going to grow into a beautiful flower. And I know it's cheesy and corny, but but it's honest. You know, I
Yeah.
plant seeds in different places, and something flourishes, and because you're concerned about all the other ones, if something like you don't put all your eggs in one basket. So if you're going to
Makes
release
sense.
this album, do it for you. Make sure that you know who to sell the shows to, because I mean performing is how I make my bread and butter.
Sure.
Other people do it from streaming, I do it from performing, and it depends on what you do.
The
So
libraries, hookups, and all that stuff.
yeah, all those
Yeah, oh,
things.
I saw that you're part of this. You're part of the actual system, which
Maybe
is
get some collabs, that will be able to help the algorithm figure it out, or
yeah,
find people that you want to work with, and you just put it into the world, and people are gonna listen to it. It might get 500,000 streams, it might get 500, but
yeah,
eventually music for kids is the one thing that will always be around, and a song that was famous 20 years ago can be famous 20 years from now.
yeah. I mean, think about how many songs we sing now that are like just kid staples. Somebody wrote that. Somebody did that song.
Yeah.
It's so funny. I appreciate that. Yeah, no, and that's like I tell myself, like I just need to just put it out in the world. I know how to do it.
Just do it.
I was thinking about this is like literally if I were to really be focused, I could actually think about this. I record a song at least once a week doing this. So it's like in theory, this could be a whole album just by using those songs
Yeah,
randomly.
my favorite TikToker, Elise Myers, was like, "Just do it, scared.
Oh yes.
Just do it, scared. Like you're gonna do it. You're gonna be scared. That's fine. Just do it."
She's a great example of that because she seems like she's scared every single time she ever turns on the camera. It's like, why did you ever like I know that how she became famous always makes me laugh because it's like I'm just gonna share the most embarrassing thing possible about myself, and then now I'm famous.
Yeah.
And but no, thank you so much for spending time with us. With me. There's nobody else here. Oh, I guess my son, he was here. So
Well, my
he's-
husband will watch this later.
yeah. Well, I hope that y'all enjoy it. And again, it's so fun to make a dumb puppet love song with you.
You have to send me the link. It was so great. I'm gonna post it on my stories on Instagram so other people will see.
Yeah, I'll actually I said I'm gonna listen to the recording, and if I don't like it, I'll edit it and I'll make an edited version for the podcast because I actually this is a live stream and then I do an audio podcast I release 2 days later.
Nice.
So I might do an edited version, and obviously if I edit it, I'll make sure I tell you.
Cool.
And so, but thank you so much for spending time with me. This is so fun, and just to learn more about you. And this wasn't bad. This was a pretty cool podcast. I think this was fun. First time I've done it this way, so it was fun to talk to you. And it's so weird to have double-sided questions. It's like we're going to talk about this, but we're also going to talk about this. Fancy.
That's fun. Thank you so much.
But all right, thank you guys. If you like this, subscribe, please check out the next episodes. We have 152 250 other episodes. So if you're like, this one was awesome, go listen to another one. It's totally different, but you're going to have fun no matter what. It's Flows for You. Flows, the number 4, the letter U.com. You go check it out. If you're looking for parties, all that kinds of stuff, I do all that stuff. So please come check it out. Flowsforyou.com. Like, subscribe, go check us out on YouTube. Flows for You. And then thank you so much. And it's Flows for You, Flows for You. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Have a great time. And thank you again, Flora, for spending time with me and our awesome puppet song, Punch Your Mama. And and hasta la pasta. I'm going to do the close, and then I'll just say bye to you offline. So just stay online for a second as I do the close. Bye, guys, as I try to find the button I have to press. Oh, this is just for your entertainment purposes. You're a winner. My son designed that using AI. So that's my son's golden donut that he made. He wants his own hoodie merch.
Nice.
And so there you go. And outro.
Are you looking for a different kind of podcast? How about informative and clean? It will make you laugh. Scout and Trey, yeah, that's what we do. We got a little funny thing, keeping it true. Hey, we take your topics and all your ideas and bring in a guest and we answer them there. Then we make a freestyle rap and do it for you. Yeah, that's what we do. Yeah, that's what we do. Yep, flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now. This is what we do. Say it flows for you, flows for you. This is what we do now.